This is the third week of the drawing from observation. I'm going to give you a little bit more challenge. Take a look at this oil lamp. I'm going to walk you through the whole process, start from the beginning to the end. So how we're going to start? The first thing, I want you to draw really softly, roughly. I know lots of people think this is unnecessary because you think that it's just, oh, just make the paper dirty. This exercise, by moving your arm, moving your charcoal on the paper, it actually helps you to define how you use the paper. This is called playing time. More you play on the paper, and you get a better idea. And you maybe think about how I'm going to erase it. If you draw really hard like this, it will be harder to erase. Let me show you. There's always have a little mark over here, right? Because you press it really hard. But the other line, you can very much erase 100%. So you just play softly, just play with it, okay? Don't press it too hard, like this. And after this process, you're going to have a better idea. Okay. And I'm going to play a little bit more. And gradually, you create the little bit more defined shape. I'm going to keep playing. I'm not measuring yet. And then think about, maybe later, I'm going to also include a cast shadow. And in that case, okay, I don't have to make it a cast shadow complete. So that's okay. If you need to, at this point, you want to move it a little bit to the left side if you want to leave a little bit more room for the cast shadow. So all those is the playing time. It's very important. Playing with it. What is the next thing you're going to try to get? That would be what's the width compared to the height. The measurements always start from big to smaller and smaller relationship. Let's take a look at how wide is this compared to the height. I'm going to take the longer compared to the shorter side. So I'm going to close one eye and like that. That would be, that's good. And then I'm going to rotate. I'm going to take a look. It looks like about here. It looks like about 1/3. The height is 3 times the width. This is how we find the ratio measurement, the ratio relationship. Now we already know the height. Here we go. Now we're going to find the third. All right? And take a look. It's about here. 1. That's as good. That's as good. So this would be the width of the glass. So I'm going to take a look. But before we move forward, we want to draw the center line. Center line, really good guideline to help us to locate the balance. The left and the right is reflected. Now this is the center, right? Okay. Now I'm going to put this on. Now the left side and the right side should be the same. So I'm going to put this here and this over here. So this is good. So the left side and the right side of the glass. Like that. And I'm going to do a little bit rough and start over here, coming down like this, over here, coming down over here. And then wrap around, and that's the end, the bottom of the glass. The next thing we're going to do, how we divide the height. In the middle of there. 1, 2, and 3. Right in the middle over here. That is where there's a little top coming up from here to the bottom. You can divide into 4. Okay. I'm going to checking it. Oh, yeah, actually, exactly. Now I'm going to divide this. Divide it over here. Now I'm going to take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And then this, the first part, is right at the bottom over here. Okay? And from here, all the way to the bottom, of the glass, that is taking the middle two part. And the last part is the bottom over here, like that. We start from big to small. What's the biggest? The width compared to the height. Since we already know this is the height, this will be the top, right? And we can divide the height over here too. I think it divides into three parts. Okay, this is going to be, one is here, and the second part is right in the middle of this. A little bit turn over here. So one, actually this can be a little bit lower, and this part a little bit more, and because we divide a little bit over here, right in the middle over there. This is good. And then at the bottom over here, from here to the bottom over here, they divide into half. And the half is right over here. That's just around. You're always looking for the relationship. That's called proportion. And then from here to here, we can divide into another half, like that. So this is pretty easy to look for. And then, since we already know the height, and then we are going to look for what is the width compared to the height in this area. We already have the center line. We're going to keep the center line like that as the reminder. Okay. Now, the width definitely much less than the height. So I'm going to give a little bit line over here. Make sure the left side and the right side is the same distance from the center line. And we're going to take a look. Is that right? And if you want, you can do a little bit more measurement. And look at it again and say, I think it's about right. Because from here, it starts a little part like that. And take a look at this, almost like this, a little bit, maybe a little bit, slightly a little bit wider, like this. And when the object gets a little bit more complex, and that is really testing how good that you follow the step by step. Because so easy, you're going to directly go into the detail. You always start from big to small. And later, I might go and demonstrate how you're going to draw a person. And the same thing, most of the people looking at a person, when they draw, they directly go to draw what? Draw the eye. When you should draw the eye? The last thing. You're supposed to figure it out. What's just the whole face you're going to place? What's the width compared to the height? How you divide the height from the top of the head to the chin? Those things, exactly how we do that for any subject matter. Okay, so we need to follow step by step. We're going to come down to the lamp over here. This is good. We already know there's just a little part over here, right under here, like that. And then take a look, and this is we're not doing the inch by inch drawing yet. We try to figure out all the proportion. I think the bottom over here can be just small, a little bit higher, because there is something sitting in between these two parts. There's the center over here, like that, and coming over here, like that. There's just a little bit over here, the cap sitting over here. There's a little bit adjustment of the frame over here, and then we're going to take a look at this. Is almost like this vertical is about like a 1/3, about 1/3 line. Okay, you can do 1/3. So right here from the middle, like that. Okay, draw the line coming down over here. Okay, that's good. And then I wrap around and on both sides. Here you go, like that. And here we go, right over here. We're not draw the shadow yet. We're first going to figure out all the outline. Okay. All right, and then we're going to put those some wire and draw slowly. Okay, right now just getting that position. And coming over here, draw slowly. And something over here coming over like that. That's roughly, that's how this lamp look like. All right, now we're just getting the shape, the overall shape is already there. I'm thinking about this a little bit, should be a little bit more on the right side. The right side a little bit wider, okay, a little bit narrow. Okay, make sure you got the impression correctly. And what is the next step? You guys all know what's the next step. We're gonna do inch by inch to define the detail. When you get to this point, the next step, it will be easy because you only know exactly where the cap would be at the top. How big is it, right? We just need to get the detail, the little turn, all those things, you need to get it right. So I'm going to use, can you give me a box, a pencil box? Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to have a compressed charcoal. We're going to define inch by inch the details. I'm going to start from here. Look 1 inch at a time. Okay? When you look, stop drawing and continue. Look again. Continue. I think they're a little bit wider. Okay. Now coming on this side and come back over here, inch at a time. Don't draw too fast. If you want to capture the correct likeness, you need to do that inch by inch. And this is right in the middle. Start from the middle. And before this step, we did not pay much attention to it. Coming back over here, that's good. Like that. Okay, we're going to draw more detail a little bit later. Now I'm going to take a look over here. And coming down, that's good. Coming out a little bit, coming down again. And a little turn on this side. Look again, 1 inch at a time. Okay, and coming on to this side. Okay, keep going and going and going. Take a look at, compare the left side and the right side. Now I'm going to come back to the top, from the top over here. Okay, right there. That's good. Actually, there's a little shape over here. Look again. Don't draw without looking. Everything you draw down on the paper need to be a good observation. Okay, coming down again and finish this shape. And I'm going to draw a little bit over here. Doesn't need to be very dark. Okay, coming over here, that's good. Okay, coming over here, look again, wrap around. Okay, over here, wrap around, like that. All right, and this is also catch the shadow on this side. And we're going to just add a little catch the shadow at the end when we're working in the lighting. So this week, we're going to look into the light side, shadow side, catch the shadow. If you are not ready to looking at the shadow, you can stop your drawing right here. That's good. That's just the end. This, the light side. I'm also going to remove this. A little bit later. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to add the shadow. Over here, I can actually blend a little bit charcoal in here because the glass actually is not really white. It has the highlight, but it's not really that white. I'm going to blend the charcoal over here too. This is not totally white. So this is good. I filled in a little bit shape in here. And on this side, the shadow side, I can make it a little bit darker. Okay, like this. All right. Now I'm going to add even stronger shadow. Now I'm going to use the compressed charcoal and take a look. And right inside over here, you can see some shadow. I can see this part. You can see the shape. It has a little bit more shadow. Okay. I'm going to do more demonstration to show you this today about draw from some simple subject matter. So I'm going to show you this a little bit more complex. Okay, here there is the shadow. you can see the shape a little bit darker, right? This is a little bit darker shape. And also catch the shadow on top of this, like that. And then the bottom part over here, this area need to be darker. So you can see how dark the object is. That's just good. Like that. And the top over here also can be a little bit darker inside the lamp over here. Okay, that's just good. And look at the bottom over here. You can draw out the shape. I'm going to help you to see the shape better. Let's see this. Here you go. Now I'm going to shading a little bit darker value. Okay, now I'm going to blend it. You can use paper towel, paper tissues to blend it. Okay, now take a look at the shadow side of this, a little bit darker. I'm going to blend that too. You see that there's a little shaped triangle over here. Also a little bit darker. Just catch the shadow. So now I'm going to put the catch the shadow on the table. Here you go. And very soon it will look like a three-dimensional object right in the paper. Now this is pretty good. Now it's already have light, shadow. I'm going to add a little highlight to it. Oh, there's a little catch the shadow of this handle right over here. Like that. And have a little catch the shadow of that. Okay, now what I want to do, I'm going to use the eraser. Now let's take a look. The top over here, the yellow color is not white. We can put it down a little bit dimmer. Okay, what I want to do, I'm going to take a look at this actually lighter than the glass, right? I want you to start comparing this a little bit lighter. So I'm going to make the light side over here a little bit lighter. Can you see that? A little bit lighter on the top. Okay, a little bit lighter over here. Okay, by using the eraser, you create a lighter shape. Can you see that? A little lighter shape. This side, a little bit lighter. Okay, that's good. Right, and the left side, the light side, and also a little bit lighter. Here you go. Make a little lighter coming down. And let's take a look at, there's the highlight right over here. I'm going to make it even lighter. And this can be softer. This line doesn't need to be so dark. Okay, that's good. That's good, a little highlight. And if you want to highlight, stand out a little bit more, making sure the surrounding area need to be a little bit darker. Otherwise, it won't show. And also, in the glass, and this a little bit lighter over here. And see this, I'm going to use, just erase out the light side of this wire. Or we can create that three-dimensional feeling of the wire. Okay, like that. That's good. A little bit light right on the top over here. Like this. A little light right over there. Okay. And that's the background. This is a little bit light. That's the other side of the glass. I'm going to make this a little bit lighter. And the top over here actually showing this side of the glass and also a little bit lighter. And then you can have all the suggestions of some of the line on the top, and you can have very light line like that. Look before you draw, and you can have some of the hole. Okay, and then you get more and more into the detail.